Being able to work with technology on a day-to-day basis allows you to evolve your skills much quicker than you might in some other situations. So we are using cutting-edge technologies from Microsoft that you probably would not get to use if you were not working within a startup. We get exposed to a lot of different technologies very quickly. And so from a personal growth perspective, there's a lot a startup can offer.
A startup is just wonderful when you are tired of the mundane, doing the same stuff over and over and over again. I get really excited by unique challenges. RAIC Labs has brought the most unique challenges to my career from both a interpersonal and technical problem set. Working in a startup, there's only so many people available, so we're all wearing many, many hats, but we're also solving really complex problems. Being in a startup at the forefront of a very exciting technology, getting to design new things that simply do not exist today is just incredibly gratifying.
How we measure success on the engineering team at RAIC Labs, generally we measure success in a couple different ways. One of the ways we measure success is how often and how quickly can we deploy code changes. We need to pivot on a regular basis. So if we can deploy code every week, we feel that that's a successful strategy. We also measure success with scale. So if we are able to meet the needs of our customers very quickly and without a lot of engineering effort, we feel we've been successful. We started with the full-fledged Visual Studio initially and eventually made the transition to VS Code. And there was a bit of a learning curve there, but that paid off dramatically, partly because we gained the ability to use dev containers across multiple different tech stacks, whether that was Python, C# or JavaScript. But we also found that having the ability to create a custom developer experience, choosing which plugins to utilize, I do think the hard part about tech debt is, where do you go next? It's easy to say that this is not where we want to be, but being able to figure out what it needs to look like in the future is a challenge. And again, I think Azure Kubernetes was a big player in helping us see what the future looked like, because we knew, okay, we need to build things in a way that will run within pods. We need to build things in a way where they can run isolated from each other. So that gave us kind of the framework for how we need to architect our systems. And then from there, it's just a matter of actually doing the work to bring our code into a format that will work within a Docker container or within an Azure Kubernetes pod.
It forces you into a storage strategy to not just rely on a local disk. You have to manage storage, whether it's locally on the machine or it's in Azure Blob Service. Being able to consider those things from the start makes it easier for us to lift up and go to another service. If we were to start from scratch again, I would possibly consider Azure Container Apps for some of our lighter weight processes. We have a lot of really lightweight APIs, kind of like the .NET APIs that serve the whole application. They do all the orchestration. They're not doing the heavy file processing. Optimizations to get to market quickly are probably two things that don't go together. So what we were able to do with Azure Virtual Machines, blob storage, and utilizing other PaaS services like Azure SQL Database, Azure Service Bus, Azure Redis, these PaaS services allow us to start from scratch really quickly. We don't have to manage infrastructure for Redis and Service Bus and these kinds of things. It allows us to hook up an SDK, get connected, and start orchestrating data. You will have time to refactor that or make changes in the future, but whatever keeps you nimble and allows you to prototype fast now is okay. The best architecture, frankly, is the one that you don't have to change in a year. So pick something that allows you to be able to prototype and evolve quickly, but not have to consider changing again.